Previously, we talked about the resistance of one electrode and the resistance of multiple electrodes in order to achieve a certain earthing system resistance that we are trying to achieve. Now, the question is, before we continue exploring different configurations for earthing electrode system, we need to understand what is the recommended design values according to various standards. So if I, for example, designing a lightning protection system, we need an earthing electrode system with a resistance or less than 10 ohms. Now, where did this come from and what does the standard say? That's what we are gonna learn today. Okay, so these values, which you can see here, are the different values for our earthing system design. For example, if we would like to design an earthing system for lightning protection system, the resistance must be less than 10 ohms. Now, this value can be found in all catalogs of lightning protection systems. Anyone, if you open it, it says that the earthing system resistance must be less than 10 ohms. And also inside the IEC standard 62305-3 also recommends less than 10 ohms. For low voltage buildings and small substations, the R resistance of the earthing system design between 1 to 5 ohms. For large substations, less than 1 ohm. For light current system or low current systems, earthing system should be less than 1 ohm. This value will change from one standard to another, as I'm gonna show you in the next slides. In my own country, my own code say that 0.5 ohm or less for low current systems or light current system, any kind of low current system. However, in different other standards, in a national standards, it tells you different values based on the how critical our building itself and the data center or telecommunication system, as we are gonna see in the next slides. Okay, so what I'm gonna do that I'm gonna show you where does these values came from, so that you already know where these values come from. Okay, starting with the lightning protection system, which I said R should be less than 10 ohm. In IEC 62305-3, which is this section exactly 5.4, 5.4.1 general, it says that in general, a low earthing resistance, if possible less than 10 ohm, is recommended. Now this part here is this one is related to the lightning protection system. Okay, so this section from lightning protection system in IEC, in which it recommends less than 10 ohm for the earthing system. Now, for the National Electrical Code, NEC tells you that minimum requirement for an earthing system resistance. So this is different from the previous values. This one tells you that in order to have an earthing electrode system or an earthing or a grounding system, the minimum requirement is achieving 25 ohm or less. This is just the minimum, not the recommended minimum. So you can see here, let's look at this section. If a single rod or pipe or a plate grounding electrode has a resistance 25 ohm or less, we will not need any supplemental electrode. It means that only we can use one electrode if this one achieves a 25 ohm or less. If it doesn't achieve this value, you will need to add an additional one without any kind of measurement. You can see here, supplemental electrode required. Here, if the single rod is more than 25 ohms, it will become more clear from other standards or IEEE standards that I'm gonna show you in the next slide. Anyway, this is the bare minimum. So you can have one rod if it has a resistance of 25 ohms or less. And if it doesn't achieve this, you will add another one in parallel to it. Okay, so they are connected in parallel, as you can see here. Here it also gives you the minimum value for the electrode, which is 8 feet which is about 2.4 meters. This is the minimum length of the electrode according to the National Electrical Code. And the minimum distance between them is about 6 feet. This is the minimum distance between them. If I remember, it is about 1.8 meter, if I remember correctly. Anyway, this is just the minimum, not the recommended. This is the minimum values for an earthing system according to the National Electrical Code. Okay? Now, as you can see, the length is 2.4 meter. In the Australian or New Zealand code, it is about 1.2 meter minimum value of the length of the electrode, as I have talked about it in a previous lesson. Okay, what about the substations? In IEEE 142 Green Book, it tells you this. In this section, for power stations and substations, if you go down here, for satisfactory lightning protection, substation grounding network resistance must not exceed 5 ohm. So it tells you if you are designing grounding system for a substation in order to satisfy the lightning protection, the R must be less than 5 ohm. If this substation is large substations, lower variable are desirable. Now I'm gonna show you another one which give you more values. So if you look at IEEE, same book 142 Green Book, it tells you that system here in this part recommended acceptable values 4.1.3 in system grounding resistance of less than 1 ohm or less than 1 ohm. When should I use this? Such a low resistance is only required for large substations, transmission lines, or generating stations. So if you are designing a grounding system for large substation, transmission, or generating stations, you have to target R less than 1 ohm, which I have shown in the first slide. Now it tells you that between 1 and 5 ohms, so R between 1 and 5 ohm range are generally suitable for industrial plant substations, buildings, and large commercial installation. That's why you will find that in residential and commercial design, we usually target resistance between 1 to 5 ohms, which is the same value that I have shown right here. So if you look here, large substations less than 1 ohm from Green Book, and also this value from Green Book. Okay, this one as I have shown from IEC, and you'll find it in all catalogs of lightning protection system. Now let's see for light current systems or low current systems. Now for the data centers, here we have ANSI, BICSI 002 in 2019 version for data systems. This one is related only to data and discusses the earthing system of data systems. You can see here data center design and implementation best practice. This is one of the standards that I'm gonna discuss later in the earthing systems. Anyway, it tells you that we have different classes for data centers. It is not my own rule to select which one of these, but this one representing how critical our data center. So this is the least critical or less reliable data centers, more downtime. This is the most critical or more reliable data center. So this one has the highest cost, lower cost. And since this one is the most reliable, the R grounding must be the lowest. RG can be higher. Now, as you can see here, it tells you that grounding resistance for F0 can be 5 ohm or greater. However, 5 ohm or greater will not satisfy the IEEE or BICSI. So it means that we should aim for less than 5 ohm. Okay. For F1, 5 ohm or less, it will satisfy IEEE and BICSI. Here, F2, 5 ohm or less, however, 3 ohm R grounding is recommended. Here, 1 ohm recommended. Here 1 ohm also recommended. Okay, so as you can see, as the data center becomes more critical and the less downtime, the lower the resistance required, and less resistance means less noise, less interference with communication systems, and also more expensive cost. Now, as you can see here, these two are pretty similar to each other. You can see if 5 ohm or greater, it may not conform to IEEE or PIXI. 5 ohm or less conform to IEEE and PIXI. So it means that if these two less than 5, you are conforming to IEEE. However, greater than 5 ohm here, not confirming, okay, directly, no confirming, okay. However, here RG greater than 5, it is a gray area. It may or may not. You can see here, it may not confirm. It doesn't tell you it 100% not confirm. It may not confirm. So what do we learn from all of this? Just to target less than 5 ohm. RG make it less than 5 ohm, and that's it, okay? And here for other 3 ohm, 1 ohm, and 1 ohm. Now for the telecommunication systems in IEEE, the 1100 or the Emerald book, it tells you that here adequate grounding of 5 ohm or less at the service entrance. This is for the telecommunication systems. Okay, adequate grounding 5 ohm or less. So RG less than 5 ohm. However, what you will find is that this actually is for a certain type of telecommunication systems. So let me show you what I mean. TIA, which is a standard for telecommunication systems, gives you two types of sites, type 1 and type 2. In brief, this one is non-critical, this one is a critical. Okay, non-critical installation, critical installation. The non-critical, which is type 1 here, non-critical, this one has no tower on the site. Type 1 does not have any tower. And as you can see, in order for type 1, you can simply use a grounding system of 25 ohm or less, same as the minimum requirement in NEC, which I have mentioned before. It tells you that if 25 ohm is not achieved with one electrode, just add another one no closer than 1.8 meter or 6 feet distance. As you can see, same requirement of the minimum requirement in the NEC, which I have shown before for type 1. So you don't need to achieve the 5 ohm objective. However, here it says that even if one electrode achieves 25 ohm, it is recommended. You can see here it is recommended to install at least 2 grounding, even if 25 objective is achieved with just 1. Okay, so it is recommended in the minimum requirement to have 2 electrodes. Okay, this is for type 1. Type 2 is the one which has the 5 ohm. You can see type 2, which are critical to the operation of telecommunication systems. It tells you that here type 2 sites may have tower on the site, and if you go all the way here, type 2 sites should have a grounding system resistance of 5 ohm or less. This value same as the value recommended in the Emerald book of IEEE. Great. Now it tells you that the one who decides type 1 or type 2, or even for the data centers F0, F1, F2, it is not me, it is the owner of the telecommunication equipment who determines whether the site is type 1 or type 2. Now for the earthing systems, again in the same standard ANSI TIA for the telecommunication, same one which I've shown in the previous slide. Minimum requirements, again this is for type 1 site, same one which I have said before. And it says that the enhanced requirements which you can be used for type 2, it tells you that here type 2 for sites that are critical in nature shall be designed to have a resistance of 10 ohm or less, preferably 5 ohm or less. This is the value which we have seen in this section in the other section of the book. Okay. Anyway, these are the different values from different standards for different systems. I hope that you understand now how do you select the earthing system resistance based on the type of the system that you are installing.